Goodbye.
The most impressive thing about the TX22, in my opinion, is how versatile this gun is. It can cover any facet of shooting, and it's competition ready even if you're not.
We really wanted to take some of the advancements with the centerfire pistols and bring them into a rimfire platform. So what we did first off was we identified magazine capacity as a big limiting factor with rimfires. Your conventional rimfire is going to be a 10-round magazine. Through the use of advanced polymers and high tensile springs, we're able to get a 16-round magazine that is the same size as a conventional 10-round.
This gun is absolutely amazing. It makes me extremely excited for the future of Taurus and what we're going to be capable of moving forward from this point forward. And it makes me very excited to take this into competition for 2019. I have no doubt that I can take this gun out of the box, put a scope on it, and go to a steel challenge match and be just as competitive as any other firearm out there.
The other improvements we made were ergonomics. We really looked at what was current in the centerfire platform, and we looked a lot as how the gun was reacting to your hand. We looked at recoil, we looked at shot placement, and we kind of came up with some metrics that we wanted to reach. We looked at trigger reach and kind of came up with a golden trigger reach. We came up with from where your thumb sits to where your trigger finger was, that distance. We kind of identified where we wanted to be, and we designed the grip around some of these metrics that we wanted to hit.
From the first time I saw it and shot it, I was blown away with what we were capable of doing.
One of the other things we identified was the takedown. 22s get really dirty, they need to be cleaned quite a bit. We came up with a way of disassembling the gun just like your conventional centerfire. Means the barrel's very easy to clean. You don't have to worry about getting debris into your firing mechanism. And speaking of firing mechanism, we wanted a striker fire. Just about every pistol on the market that's a rimfire is hammer fired. Whether it's internal hammer or external hammer, they're all hammer. There's a lot of benefits that come with being striker fired. My background is with designing rifles, so they said, let's put a rifle trigger in a pistol, which everyone says they want to do. It's very difficult to do. So we came up with a single action only, drop sear style of trigger mechanism. What that allowed us to do is we weren't sacrificing firing pin energy and it wasn't affecting the trigger pull. It has a 5-pound crisp break and has a very short and audible reset.
One of the first things that I noticed off the bat was the trigger of the TX22. And once I started talking to Jason about the engineering and the thought behind the trigger, it's a single action striker fire trigger, which isn't something you see regularly, and it has a great feel. It's very crisp, it breaks clean, and it has a real positive reset. And for me, that's what I'm looking for in a trigger. That's what is going to help me have a faster split, make the fast shot for the second shot.
The other thing we identified was being striker fired, it had to have a trigger safety. Now there's always a compromise. Do you have your trigger safety proud of your trigger? Do you have it sub-flush? That was one of the things we discussed, and we said, well, why have a trigger safety recess at all? We actually have a trigger safety, which is the entire trigger. The real trigger is a steel piece that's hidden inside the trigger shoe. Your trigger shoe, the entire face is one solid piece. So you don't have to worry about having a high spot, a low spot. It's one continuous surface. We wanted to give the ability for the consumer to really customize the pistol however they wanted to. So out of the box, it's going to come with a suppressor adapter. So whether you want to put a compensator on it or you want to put a suppressor, anything with a 1/2-inch 28 thread will fit on this gun. Also, the Picatinny mount is set up so that any light you want to put on, laser, the gun is ready to go. So we have a pistol that can go toe-to-toe with the most competition-ready pistol out there.
I think that's one of the most impressive things about this gun is how versatile it is. It can be a competition gun, it can be an everyday carry gun, it can be a go to the range and have fun gun. whatever need you have, it could fit.